like many of you, I grew up in the church. My father's a pastor, and he always said, the mind can only comprehend what the seat can endure, so we'll make this quick. I appreciate all of you for being here today. You've been very gracious. Have you had some wonderful speakers or what? A lot of people want to be president of the United States. I came here just to tell you a little bit. If I had been here last year, I would tell you about a State House Republican group comprised of 28 members. I would tell you about 8 state senators. We didn't have a whole lot to speak of in the constitutional offices either. We had 1 Republican congressman. We flirted with Republicanism in the 90s. You've heard from Governor Mike Huckabee. We had the late Lieutenant Governor Win Rockefeller. We had 2 congressmen, Jay Dickey and Asa Hutchinson. Well, we wandered in the wilderness a little while. We got away from our principles. We stopped talking about all the conservative issues that matter. And our friends in the Democratic Party made a surge. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are entering the promised land in the state of Arkansas because now our 28 members in the House Republican caucus is 45. In the state Senate, we went from 8 to 15. And I'm pleased to tell you we've got Lieutenant Governor Mark Darr, we've got Secretary of State Mark Martin, and we've got a land commissioner named John Thurston. And that's just on the statewide level. We helped retire one of the deciding votes on Obamacare, Senator Blanche Lincoln, ladies and gentlemen, and they call her Senator Mary Landrieu's twin sister. Well, she's no longer there. And in our House delegation, where we had Representative John Bozeman, who is now Senator John Bozeman, we have, for the first time in our history, a majority in our congressional class. We have Senator Tim Griffin in the 2nd District, where I live in Little Rock. We have Representative Steve Womack. And I know this is great, but listen, in Arkansas, we just haven't had the opportunity to list these names. And then in the 1st District, one of the country's most Democratic districts in the country, we elected a young man named Rick Crawford, and he represents us well. So I guess you could say I'm delivering a little good news. Republicans have needed a little mission work, and we got busy. And as you know, when we have elections, elections have consequences. Certainly in the State House where I'm at, we've had some big successes. And in fact, for the first time, because of Republicans, and I will tell you we did it because we worked with some Democrats, but when you have 45 Republicans, they begin to listen to you. You're not outside the door throwing rocks, you're inside the room having the conversation. For the first time, we limited ourselves. We passed meaningful ethics reform in the House of Representatives, and that was because of Republicans. We entered the session and we were told that we couldn't do any more than cut about $15 million worth of taxes. We've had a Democratic governor who has made a pledge to cut and remove the tax on food and medicine, and we've helped in that fight. But we said, no, we can do more. We can limit spending and we can cut taxes more. So we went from $15 to $35 million in tax cuts in Arkansas, and that's quite significant. And there were more successes. But I want to leave you with this. We hear a lot about the presidential campaign, and I'll tell you what, I think we've got some great ones, and I think we may have heard from the next president of the United States. Now, I have an idea who I'm supporting. I got 20 of my colleagues, or 19 of my colleagues in the Arkansas House of Representatives, and we sent a letter to a certain governor who was up on the stage a little while ago, urging him to get in the race. But we have a lot of good candidates. And we'll be better off through this whole entire primary from president to state house because we have learned one thing. Our issues win. When we talk about lowering the tax burden, when we talk about keeping the regulatory burden on business sensible, when we talk about fighting against an unconstitutional healthcare system, we win. When we talk about protecting the unborn and preserving the sanctity of marriage, we win. We have a pretty straightforward task in Arkansas coming up in 2012. We don't have any U.S. senators on the ballot. We will protect and defend our Republican members of Congress. We will vote for the Republican president because we always do. But we will do something in 2012 in Arkansas that has never been done before. And some of you have experienced this, and I tell you, I have not experienced it. Because in 2012, we'll take that 45-seat number in the Arkansas House of Representatives and we'll be in the majority. We'll take those 15 state senators in our 35-member state Senate and we will become the majority. And I'll tell you what, we'll do it. We'll keep our word. We'll cut taxes. We'll keep that regulatory burden low. We'll commit to political reform. And I'll tell you what, I've told people, once Arkansans get a true taste of conservative governance, they'll never turn back. Listen, we need your thoughts, we need your prayers in Arkansas, because I think we're going to do this, and we will, in fact, be one of the last states to embrace the republicanism that has been at home in the South for a long time. God bless you all. Thank you for coming. You've been a gracious audience. God bless you, and we'll see you next year.